Hello, my name is Pastor Larry Dove and I pastor Park Hills Community Church. Many of you who are viewing this video probably are aware of that, but there may be some who are not aware of it also. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to actually listen to this video. It is not our normal worship service that we normally upload to YouTube, but rather since we are going to be reopening next Sunday, I thought I would just take this time to present to you and make you aware of some changes that are going to be happening starting next Sunday as we prepare to reopen and to have in-person worship. And again, as you listen to these changes, they're not changes that are meant to, to do this or that, but rather they are changes to accommodate and to ensure your health and safety as we continue to navigate on the other side of this pandemic. So be patient. Listen carefully of some of these changes that are going to be happening upon your return next Sunday as we reopen our church. So first of all, let me just start off with is that we will start off next Sunday, July 4th, and we will start our services at 10 o'clock. Now that's important to remember. All of our worship services will now start at 10 o'clock, not 11, but 10 o'clock. And this is keeping in step with our Zoom worship time that we have been utilizing. We've been utilizing our Zoom starting at 10 o'clock. And so we thought we'd just carry it over to see how it works by starting our worship services at 10 o'clock. So all of our services, worship services, in-person worship services, starting July 4th, will start at 10 o'clock. Now, also, we realize that perhaps not everyone will be able to attend. We will continue to carry our Zoom services live on Zoom at the same time that we have our in-service worship. So again, you have two options. Come to church and worship here in person, or you can also, if you choose to, stay at home and you can dial in and connect with us on Zoom and to also engage in the worship services. I also want to encourage you or to let you inform you is that our worship services will probably be limited to about an hour, no more than an hour and 15 minutes, maybe on Communion Sundays, an hour and 15 minutes. But we're trying to stream our services so they'll be a little bit more efficient, and we're looking at having a good soul-stirring worship service within a span of about an hour of 15 minutes. Now, upon your return, we are, when I say we, the consistory, we are going to ask that everyone wear a mask upon your return. This mask will be mandatory for the remaining Sundays of July 4th, 11th, 18th, and the 25th. After July, then we will make a reevaluation and probably move to an optional mask wearing in August. But to start off with, I like for everyone to be on one accord in unity. And I think it would be best if we would all just be masked up when we come and to worship in person on Sunday. So that's going to be mandatory. We're going to ask you to mask up. And if you don't have a mask, don't worry about it. We will have plenty of masks and even sanitizing solutions at the door upon your entry. Our sanctuary worship will continue to be conducted inside here in the sanctuary. For many of our people, when you mention the word church, they don't think of themselves as being the church. They think of a place, okay, or they think of a building. And so I think for us to better reconnect, not only in fellowship but in worship, starting our worship services here in the sanctuary is the best place for us to start. And then as the weather becomes warmer, then we'll move to the tent area in the fellowship hall parking lot. But for the time being, we're going to start and commence our fellowship here in the sanctuary. We're going to ask that when you enter the sanctuary, we're going to ask you to do your best to honor social distancing protocol as far as seating is concerned. If you are coming with a friend, a neighbor, or relatives, and you're comfortable, we would ask you to all sit together. Don't scatter yourselves out. But I'm assuming that most of us, because we are an older generational church, most of us has already been vaccinated. And by being vaccinated, that pretty much secures our immunity to the COVID-19. But I'm not sure if everyone is going to be vaccinated. We're not going to have anybody at the door asking you if you're going to be vaccinated. But if you're coming with friends or families and you're comfortable, we ask that you will be seated together. And then also, we're not sure how many people are going to show up, but we're also going to have an overflow room in the multipurpose room. You'll be able to view the worship services through a monitor there in the multipurpose room for overflow purposes. So again, if you feel uncomfortable coming into the sanctuary, you can also go to the multipurpose room. There'll be more room and space for you to spread out over there. Upon entry, when you enter into the sanctuary, enter into the building, I want to admonish you, pick up a bulletin and an offering envelope from the table that will be offered in the narthex. Okay, offering envelopes will also be offered in the pews as they normally are. But we're not going to have somebody standing at the door handing you a bulletin or handing you an offering envelope as we normally did prior to COVID-19. So when you enter in, you'll see bulletins, you'll see offering envelopes on the table. Just pick up an offering envelope and or a bulletin and then allow yourself to come into the sanctuary and be seated. Also, just want to let you know is that when you pick up a bulletin, it's going to be entirely different. It's going to be formatted differently. It's only going to be one page. This used to be our bulletin, This used to be our bulletin inside out, and it was just inundated with a lot of information. But now it's just going to be one page bulletin, and it will only list pertinent information that relates to not only our campus and our future, but also what's going on in Park Hill. So be sure to pick up a bulletin and an offering envelope before you enter into the sanctuary. On this July 4th, this will be our first Sunday, and we normally partake of communion on our first Sunday, and we will continue to do so on July 4th, next Sunday. However, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. We will not be utilizing communion trays and passing those out from one end of the pew to the other. What we're going to do when you walk in and sit down, you'll see that your communion, your cup, and the bread will already be placed in the pew. We have what we call communion holes or communion pews. And when you walk in, you'll see the little cup already there. And when it's time to partake of communion, you just pick up the cup, peel back the cellophane, the bread, peel back the aluminum foil, which also exposes the wine. So the communion cups will already be made available for you when you walk in. And of course, when you finish partaking of communion, you just put the cups back into the little communion holes. So that's how we're going to do communion. We'll no longer be passing out, utilizing communion trays to pass those out. Our offering collection, as you normally know, we normally will pass the baskets and you put your offering into the offering trays. That's going to be changed also in order to minimize contact. And so from now on, as you pick up your offering envelopes, or you may take them from the pews, you fill it out. Upon exiting the church and the sanctuary, we're going to have offering baskets on both sides of the doors. So upon your exiting the sanctuary at the end of the service, you can drop off your offering envelope there in the baskets. And then as we normally do, we will collect them and count them and so forth. So again, offering is going to be taken up in a different manner. They will be taken up. You will be notified at the end of the service. Please drop your offering envelopes into the baskets. And upon exiting, just drop them off in there, and that'll take care of that. Adult and children's Sunday schools will be made available at a later date. We are not going to incorporate or try to kick off Sunday school for adults and children immediately. We're going to kind of ease into that, and we just want to be comfortable with trying to get our worship setting standardized here first. And then we will move into adult Sunday school and children's Sunday school at a later time. Also, I want to inform you that we will not be supporting VBS this year because, again, we're just trying to get back to some means of normalcy. So VBS will be suspended for the 2021 year. We'll pick it up in 2022. When you come in, when you drive in, you'll probably notice in our parking lot, you'll see some vehicles lined up along the fence, along the Overdale, adjacent to the school. Those vehicles are actually a part of a parking lot. What I mean by that is that those vehicles, they actually pay us rental fees in order to store those vehicles here on our parking lot. We had to do something to augment our loss of income during the pandemic, and so this was one of the things that we could do to help us to continue to be able to pay our bills. So when you come in, you'll see vehicles along the fence. However, 2/3 of the parking lot still remains for you to park your cars in. The gates will be open. You can just come right on in to park your cars. Also, to include handicap spaces will be made available for those who utilize handicap spaces. And also, you can, if you choose to, you can park on the streets. But just want you to know, don't be alarmed when you see the vehicles parked up against the fence. They belong there because they're actually paying rent. At the end of our worship service on next Sunday, we're going to have a barbecue 4th of July celebration immediately after the service. And so we are asking you to bring an appetite, bring family, bring friends. And even as our worship leader says, even bring your enemies, invite them to come also. We're going to be moving from the sanctuary to our fellowship hall and then out into the tent area where we have a large tent already set up, tables and chairs. Allow you to be able to pick up a good plate of something to eat, a barbecue, mac and cheese, cabbage, cornbread, all the good fixings that go along with black soul food. It's going to be made available to you and your family and anybody else you bring, and it's all free. Can you say free? That's my favorite word, free. When somebody says free, they got my attention. I look around and say, free? What's free? Well, hey, everything that we provide for the food is going to be a jumper for the kids. All that is going to be free. All we need for you to do and for you to bring is yourself, your presence, and a neighbor and a friend. And please, please, please invite. I've already emailed out the postcards electronically, and if you are email fanatic or whatever it is might be, will you take that electronic postcard and will you post it on your Facebook or your Instagram or your Twitter, whatever social media that you use, paste that and invite people to come. The more that we get that word out, electronically speaking, on social media platforms, the more it will align people's attention and possibly to come and to join us. So again, barbecue, tents, seating, good worship, all that is coming down starting next Sunday. I also would like to remind you that as we move into a warmer weather climate, our dress policy is come as you are, and that has not changed. However, I would like to encourage you, particularly for the remainder of the summer, maybe try to dress casual. Dress casual. It's not mandatory, but you're going to see me kind of dressing down a little bit casual in order to accommodate the warmer weather. And I would encourage you to do that also. You know, Jesus didn't come to save us because of how we dressed. He came to save us in spite of how we dress. And so I would just encourage you for the summer months, and also as we ease back into worshiping and so forth, let us just come and be relaxed and enjoy the presence of the Holy Spirit and enjoy the presence of one another. So come as you are, but I would encourage you to come in a casual manner. Now, that pretty much ends my of what I wanted to share with you, of all the changes that are going on. But however, there is one other person that would like to also encourage you and speak to you. And that person's name is Perry Hayes. And so Perry is now going to speak to you and give you an encouraging word about himself and the choir and what to expect when you come back. And so here he is. Let's listen to our worship leader, Perry Hayes, as he gives us a good word. Perry, it's all yours.
Blaze, your music director, coming to you again. I can't wait until next Sunday, July 4th, to be with you all again. Please know that the choir will be back in the choir stand. We've been working hard for the last couple of weeks getting prepared for this service. So again, I can't wait to see you all to give our total praise.
Thank you, Perry. Thank you so much for that encouraging word of the choir returning. And as I said, that we're all just trying to get back to a new normal. It's not going to be as things used to be. We are developing a new normal, a new culture for Park Hills Community Church. So thank you for your patience. And that pretty much kind of summarizes what changes to expect. And again, as I said, I want to thank you for your patience as we kick off our in-person worship starting next Sunday, July 4th at 10 o'clock a.m. Now, if you have any questions about what I have said or spoken, please don't hesitate to call me, Pastor Larry Dove, or you may also call one of our elders. And the names of our elders are Michael Morris, Eugene Fisher, Sandra Fisher, Jessica Collins, and Linda Harrington. And so you can call one of our elders or you can call myself, and we will make ourselves available to answer any and all of your questions that you may have. That's about it. That's the presentation that we wanted to present to you in preparation for our reopening on next Sunday, July 4th at 10 o'clock. I'm praying that this presentation has been useful to you and your household, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next Sunday, 10 o'clock, here at Park Hills Community Church. And why is that? Because I eternally believe the best is yet to come in 2021. God bless you. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday. The best is yet to come. Bye.